Hey everyone, Justin and Chris here.
Hey guys, good to see ya.
About to do another home renovation project. Today we're going to go to Home Depot, pick up one of these cabinets that you see behind us for a sink base, get some installed, and show you how we did it. See you again soon.
Talk to you guys soon.
Hey everybody, Justin again. Just wanted to show you what we picked up here from Home Depot. So here's what we got. We got this cabinet that came in off the freight truck there. If you look at it pretty well, it's in a pretty rough shape. Boy, it looks like it fell off the truck 3 times and got tossed up in the truck 4 times. So one thing you want to do when you get something new in that you had shipped is just double check before you take it out of Home Depot or any other one of these big box stores. Because if there's damage on it in that, it's a lot easier for you just to go ahead and either have them get it fixed up for you by sending another order, or they could go ahead and discount it for you, which is what they've done for me in the past, and make it right for you that way. The only damage we saw on this unit was just in this one spot, which I'll show you real fast here. I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but it was just on that inside corner. And so where that inside corner is, no one's ever going to see that. It'll be below the counter space. And so it's all right. That's not a big deal. But certainly, if anybody's in them shipping departments, man, boy, please, if you guys could, I don't know, maybe take a little bit more care with some of these things, because I'll tell you what, the last thing we want is to wait another 4 weeks for another one. So we'll see you guys again here at the house.
Hey guys, we're back here, back to the job site. We got the cabinet in the back of the truck. We're getting ready to unload it. We're gonna bring it in and we're gonna show you guys how we're gonna install this.
All right, everyone. So Chris is down here at the floor level where we're about to set these cabinets. We ended up having to take out a little bit of this floor because it was water damaged underneath that old cabinet that was in there. And so because of that, we're going to have to shim it back out with some 1/4-inch wood back there to get it to the same level as the front. We're not doing the whole entire floor because it's unnecessary. As long as the front and the back of the cabinet have something solid to sit on like that, and it can sit level, that's all we really need here. So what we did is we went ahead and cleaned up this floor after we got rid of that gnarly stuff that was in there. There was a little bit of moldy stuff on the surface, so the best way to get rid of that is just to go ahead and spray some peroxide down there, get that taken care of, and then clean it all up, vacuum it out, and you're ready to go ahead and set this 1/4-inch board in. Chris just got done setting this 1/4-inch board here on the back side where our cabinets are going to be set. I'm going to go through with the crown stapler and fasten this down to the floor. This crown stapler you can get at any old big box home improvement store. We don't do a whole lot of this work, so we just went ahead and got the simple one here. It's 30 bucks at Menards. Great deal for you. Simple little hose here. If you're a homeowner doing it yourself, you could probably get yourself this gun, this hose, and maybe a little air pot for less than $100 total, depending on where you go. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and nail from this end going this way. Keep in mind, we really don't have to be perfect with how we set this, just enough for the back of the cabinet to sit on so it's the same level as the front we're here. The reason we chose 1/4-inch board is because the board right here is also 1/4-inch. This will get us as close to level as possible. However, we might end up having to do a little bit of shimming, but at least this way we won't have to put a ton in there. So let's get started. And as you guys just saw, we're only putting 3 staples in this. This is just enough to get it fastened to the floor so it doesn't move around. You really don't have to overstaple something like this. We chose to use this harder product here instead of just, some sort of thin board, because this will be nice and solid back there where those cabinets are, and also help with reduce the amount of movement or warpage as it's coming across this floor face. So let's go ahead and nail the rest back in. Now another quick thing I'll note too is we buy these pads, they're about $9. Instead of getting the knee pads there, which are also great if you do a lot of this work, this is really nice because not only can you use this here where we're doing this type of work, but of course you could go ahead and use this same pad for a good number of things. We use it for all types of stuff. Even if you're doing outside work, instead of putting your knees in the rock, you just toss this little thing down there. It doesn't matter if it gets damaged or anything. Good way to cushion your knees. So we're all set with fastening this to the back. The next thing we could go ahead and get started on is taking our level and going across the floor just to check for level, because let's say your floor is out of whack by, I don't know, an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch. It's certainly a lot easier to go ahead and get that dealt with before you get the cabinet in here than later on. So we're just going to go ahead and lay this down and give it a good look. Okay, so checking this level right here, we're a little out of level going the other direction, which that's okay, because this is actually something that's really easy to fix. You can lift your level up and see how far off you are. It looks like going towards that direction there, it's going to rise up to about a 1/4 inch. So that lets us know that we could put a standard shim in there. We'll show you again here. This will let you know that you can put a standard 1/4 inch shim back in there and still keep rolling. So with that said, you have the option of either shimming out the back of those cabinets to make up for that, or you could go ahead and keep laying in some board and trying to figure it out that way. I think for right now, the best thing is we'll just go ahead and use that 1/4 inch shim and see how that plays out for us. There we go. So guys, what you just saw me do is I took this center line here, brought it down from where our measurement point was with a level to keep it straight. Then we took our level and our square to make sure that we could get it pretty close to straight coming off the wall, so we could bring that line all the way out to here. From there we measured from this line over to the pipes, to the center of each pipe off of this line. We put the measurements here and here, and then also here to this pipe. And what this is going to do is this is going to show us where we have to make our cuts inside of our cabinet, so that way when we bring this cabinet in, we should be able to just drop this down over the top of this plumbing here, and the holes should be pretty darn close to right where they need to be in that cabinet to minimize the amount of cutout that we have to do in there. And the reason you will do this is just for aesthetic reasons. I mean, sure, you could go ahead and put a big old square cut in there. That would be totally fine if that's the way you want it. But for most folks, if we can minimize that cutout there, when somebody's looking inside that cabinet, it sure looks a lot nicer. So that's what we're going to do. All right, guys, so we're back here at our sink cabinet, ready to go ahead and cut our holes for that plumbing that was over there. So Chris is going to go ahead and show you what we have here as far as our measurements go. So what we did is we found the center of where we want this cabinet to be placed. Then we measured off of that center to find out where each one of those points are, where we got to put a hole in this thing, so that way we could set this cabinet right over the top of that plumbing with minimal cutouts. So what we found is off of that center point, coming to the first two water inlets, we had 7.5 inches. We measured over 2 1/4 inches for the center of the one, and then 4 3/4 for the center of the other. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do two 2-inch holes there, and then connect them using the jigsaw to make one nice oval there. Then we came forward 10 inches to find the center point of that big drain pipe, and then we measured off of our center point 8 5/8 inches to the center of that point, so that way when we cut our 2.5 inch hole there, we should have enough room with a 2.5 inch hole there and that span between there and there to go ahead and get this cabinet set over not only that drain point, but also the 2 water inlets. So we're going to go ahead and make the cutouts, and then we'll show you what we did once we get that complete. We're about to go ahead and make our cut into the bottom of this cabinet. We're going to use a 2-inch hole bore on a drill that's got a hammer drill capability. We'll start out with just regular drill bit because it's just particle board, so it should go through pretty smooth. So we'll go ahead and run this through these first sets of holes. Just like we showed you earlier, we went ahead and measured everything out, so now we just got to cut some holes and get it ready for installation. It's a 2.5 inch, you call it a day.
Cool.
As Bob Ross said, any old brush will work. I just grabbed this one.
Yeah. Old Bob Ross.
Old Bob Ross, man, he didn't care. He said, shoot, just use this old brush.
Yes, he did.
He's like, this one's got some paint on it. Oh well. Bob Ross, I love that guy. He said this one has a little bit of blue paint on it. Might look nice.
Come down right over the top of her. Oops. That should be fine. It's the windowsill. There we go.
Nice, what do you think? Looks good. Hey guys, Justin here. What you just witnessed us do is put this cabinet right back in that spot like we talked about. It fit right over the holes almost perfectly, so we didn't have to make any adjustments. Now what Chris is doing is he's checking the cabinet for level, both on the front and on the back, so left to right and front to back. We set this cabinet first because it needs to be centered right underneath that window where that sink's going to go. And now all the cabinets that are going to be hooked to it, both left and right, can be installed to that. And we can make sure that everything's nice and straight while at the same time ensuring that that's centered on that window. So come check this out with us. What we have right here, this is how this all fitted with these holes from our measurements. So it looks like we did a really good job getting all that where we needed to be. We're centered on our line here, right below where this window's centered. This will make sure that our sink goes in centered, and then our sink head is centered up on top of this. We chose to get one of those longer heads with a spray nozzle on it, and so when somebody looks at this with this all being centered, boy, it's going to look just great.